You missed the sweater memo. Apparently, there was.
I did miss the sweater memo. I got a.
You got a windbreaky though.
I got a windbreaky.
I want to see that shit, bro. Type shit.
I'm trying to break.
Like,
trying to break wind.
Straight for real, like. I ain't trying to look all crazy and shit on that motherfucking camera.
Out here
type
trying
shit, like.
Goddamn break
You
wind.
feel me? Like shit, like for real. Like I can't be looking crazy on this camera, like for real. Like you gotta make sure my fucking wrist tight, like for real. Flip it a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
I can stop recording so it takes the effects off.
Man, I live for the special effects. I am a special effect, like for real. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I'm a fucking visual effect and a special effect, man. That was my first rap name, man.
Special effect?
Both of them.
That's my visual and special effects.
Both of them. I would change depending on the season. Like, I would change my rap name type shit. Like.
That's why they call my nigga special effect, because he like a special effect.
So when you were an acapella, was it more you were
asking too many questions for real.
But I'm thinking maybe there's a distinction when you were rapping acapella, special effect, but when you were going through a mic, visual effects, because that's
asking
more.
Too many questions.
Why you talking about acapella like we a barbershop?
The folks at home will get that.
Like we doing barbershop shit.
If you wasn't
like that,
if you wasn't there, then you wasn't there. Like if you don't get it type shit, then you don't get it type shit. Hey, hold up, let me play you some shit real quick.
All right, you little bastard. You want to challenge my pack? Well, I hate to say this, but I'm not the alpha that you want to challenge. Because my true alpha is right there. So if you want to challenge one of us, you have to go through all of us. Ain't that right, alpha?
So true. I'm back. I stepped down because I had to. Now I'm back. So, you want to challenge? Let's challenge.
You want to fight me one-on-one? Well, listen up well. He was my trainer.
I don't see a tooth in sight. Like,
so I suggest you shut up and sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down
before you have to deal with him.
And I'm ready.
And we're all ready.
Instead of like a polygamist sort of situation.
I don't know how y'all managed. I completely fell out the first time I watched that video. Could not breathe.
I've seen that.
Thought I was gonna die laughing so hard. First time I saw that.
I've seen it before, and it was just memories coming back. Memories of being surprised he didn't spit seeds into that man's mouth when he looked up like that.
Yeah, spit something.
Just like
you want a challenge. Let's challenge.
You want a goddamn challenge? I tell you what, I'm not the alpha that you're looking for. You goddamn something, bitch.
My favorite part. Now I'm back. Just the interesting intonations, like
you don't know where he's going.
Yeah. Idiosyncratic intonation.
Yeah.
Randy Newman would have a field day listening to that.
You had to
trying to figure out where it's going.
You imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin came in the ring, he's like, I left because I had to, but now I'm back, god damn it. And I'm gonna drink a beer and then I'm gonna kick your candy ass from here to Sunday.
I'm Rudy. That's
when you hear the glass, it's Vince's ass. I got a new shirt.
Oh wow, that's hard as fuck. I didn't.
What's it
really?
say?
I couldn't read it at
when
first.
you hear the glass, it's Vince's ass.
Nice.
Vince McMahon is.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. I made a career out of harassing a billionaire on a weekly basis every Monday in front of your father.
Who was it Vince McMahon? What's his arch nemesis? Who was Stone Cold Steve?
It was Vince.
I don't remember.
It was Vince.
Is this recording at 48, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Logan Paul is on the WWE now.
Yeah.
In Zoomer News.
It's gone downhill.
I should have a segment called Zoomer News. Things that Zoomers would probably know.
Yeah. No, man, it's gone downhill in recent years. I was an Attitude Era kid. I'm tapped out.
So you were for real into wrestling?
My dad really was, and now I was also.
One of my best
He called
friends
it wrestling.
Visually wrestling, seeing it on a TV, just walking into a room and seeing the bright lights and people slamming onto the ground, it's the most lit shit visually to see. Just like two guys with long hair, long fucking metallic hair.
Yeah, bro. I went to a live wrestling show in Asheville a couple years ago, and the funniest thing, I watched it. I was like recording, and this dude looked into my camera. It was this wrestler named Zuka King. He looked into my camera and he goes, Zuka King on IG, follow me on everything. And then like right as the recording cuts out, a dude comes up and just like slaps him in the chest.
That's promoting yourself now on in wrestling instead of just being The Rock. And it's like he might as well be Santa Claus. He's so magical. Like he's not a real person.
Right.
You're like,
Where are you? Right there.
Yeah. I just want to thank each and every one of
oh, I remember this.
for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it! Thank you. Thank y'all guys. Y'all are awesome.
It's so sweet in retrospect.
It is real, man.
We really made fun of
Yeah.
Well, E-Bomb's World gives it away right there.
Yeah.
We know why that was uploaded.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still real to me, damn it. I mean,
it's still funny as fuck, but it's more sweet than fuck. Wow, more sweet than funny to me.
what? It's more sweet than fucked.
It's more sweet than
It's a
fuck
sweet
to
fuck.
me.
He's a sweet fuck.
He's a
It's
sweet
more
little
sweet than fuck to me.
Yeah.
He's a sweet little fuck.
He's a sweet fuck for that. Oh, aren't you just a sweet fuck
Sweet
for
little
that?
fuck
Aren't
for
you
that.
just a
You're
sweet
sweet little fuck.
Wrestling. Yeah, dude, that rules. I mean, that's like true though. They really fuck up themselves.
Yeah,
more than
even
anything.
down to as when we were kids, we laughed because of him saying what you do to your bodies. But like the wording is actually very proper. Like it's very appropriate.
Well, it's
Yeah,
also
right.
easy targets, like a fat guy with glasses crying about wrestling. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I used to think it didn't hurt at all. Like I used to think like it was completely fake. Like, oh, that's all fake. And it's like, I don't know. I think when you weigh 300 pounds and it's just the fall of gravity on another man, like
You're flying how
Probably
many
hurts.
feet from?
Fucking
I get worried about like jumping off the third step of my staircase and twisting my ankle, let alone not
Bro.
shattering my back.
Mick Foley was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, and so I feel like I was hyper aware of how much it hurt.
Mhm.
Like,
because he was always bleeding and shit.
he was always, I think he bled more than any wrestler probably that has ever existed. And at least in my view, maybe there's a generation beforehand that was even worse, but like he was just fully just like, you know, because they like sliced their fucking foreheads open and shit. And he was like, I feel like he was the only one still doing that in the 90s or some shit.
Yeah, that seems very 90s to bleed
Yeah.
in wrestling.
Yeah.
When I think of wrestling in my childhood, I really just think of the most problematic wrestlers.
As opposed to
like-
the non
Like,
Well, I'm
which
thinking
one?
of Hornswoggle.
horns. That's his name. Wow, this is offensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is he still like a thing? That's what
I
I
don't
want to
know.
know. Like,
I
have
have
they
no
done any cleanup?
I think they've cleaned. I think they've cleaned it
Like
up a
PR.
lot. Like on the front end, like on the surface level. And granted, I've only watched like one WrestleMania as an adult.
there was a
but, like-
special needs wrestler. You don't remember
I do
him?
not
No.
remember that. No.
What was his name? God damn.
I sure don't have any
I mean,
suggestions as to what his name might have been.
yeah,
I don't have
no
any
clue.
in my head.
Not even a suggestion of what it should have been.
Nope.
No, you're
No.
not gonna.
I'm gonna take
I'm
that
so-
deadly
it was
serious.
Eugene.
What would you name?
It was Eugene.
3 whole minutes of playtime. That's all I think about with wrestling.
Yeah,
The
I think of,
Bonesaw.
I think of Vince McMahon saying the N word to Booker T.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. I think it's shit
Yeah.
like that. This is Eugene.
My nigga.
Like, that's
Oh,
wild.
I do remember him.
Oh,
I do
this is
remember
the
him, yeah.
That's wild.
He was really good though.
Right.
He was actually really good. It wasn't like they were making a
fucking
joke out of
picture.
him.
Are
He
you
was just
fucking
like,
kidding me? They're like, how do we signify you special needs? Wow.
It was a
Jesus
lot of
Christ.
this, by the way. It was a lot of this and like waving and moving and
Dude,
yeah.
how do you find?
One of my best friends as a child was obsessed with. He's literally one of the biggest.
What's his favorite?
Like, who was his favorite
That was
wrestler?
his favorite
No,
wrestler?
his favorite wrestler was Randy Orton,
okay.
yeah.
and I think he was kind of like he was kind of
coming.
like hot shit when this is like 2005, 6, 7.
Yeah.
My favorite's
that window.
always been Rey Mysterio because in WWE SmackDown versus Raw, you could just fucking You could just spin around guys' heads and then smash them.
Yeah,
you could do the best moves. With
he was the only one where it felt like a legit fighting game and not wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a Mexican middle school. Like it was like 50%.
What year was this?
This was Why did you say that like you didn't believe me?
I went to a Mexican middle school last week. Just observe. Just observe.
It was 2012.
Yeah. I was in a bus. It ran out of gas, and so I just walked inside. And no security. No security. Just walked in.
This was it was 03 to 06. No, 02 to 05.
Gotcha.
Was middle school. Yeah, and so it was like a lot of Mexican kids, a lot of black kids, a lot of Vietnamese kids. There was, I think the whole time I was there, 3 white students. And everybody loved Rey Mysterio. Everybody loved Eddie Guerrero. That was a big moment when he died.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody fucking loved Eminem. It was really, looking back.
Eminem, just Marshall Maths.
Yeah, Marsh Maths.
Young Marshall.
My biggest reference point for wrestling, just beyond my friends, were the video games.
Yeah,
and
2005. That was the one
I loved.
SmackDown versus Raw.
Kane, and I loved Sting.
Yeah,
those are like my 2.
Mm-hmm.
Kane is I don't know if he's a governor now. He's a politician though.
You're right, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the
afraid.
big show.
Big show.
That's the only entrance music I know.
Oh yeah.
Because someone I used to know used to sing that all the time. Just, it's the big show. It's the funniest.
No.
I just know
Calling him the big show.
Oh,
the
no.
Undertaker's.
Yeah.
He's a Republican mayor.
Oh yeah.
Kane is?
Oh,
Yeah, but
no.
what wrestler?
I'm voting Abel.
What wrestler has become a politician and not been a Republican?
Jesse
Ventura.
Yeah, he's like a libertarian,
Yeah.
basically.
I'm socially. I'm more. I can't. His line is, "I'm socially liberal and fiscally conservative." That was his line, like
That's
at least
funny.
10 years ago.
Dude, I
Right.
went on Grill Guy. Shout out Grill Guy's
Yeah.
podcast, and he does a dead-on Jesse Ventura. Like, it's
Yeah.
better than yours. I don't know how.
Word.
It's literally, he's got like the perfect, I don't know,
Wow.
the perfect impression.
And The Rock's running for president in 2024.
Yeah.
And my best friend is Kevin Hart. Everybody knows. Everybody loves me because I'm a little bit funny sometimes.
pal.
Yeah.
And I am politically, I am a centrist. I don't give a fuck what happens to these motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck what happens anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Bernie, I'm going to smash you over my leg, crack you in half.
You goddamn jabroni.
Who do you think he would run against if he runs this?
Who, The Rock?
Oh, I guess that would have to be the primary. I feel like he would run Democratic. Feel like that's his best.
The
move.
Rock?
The Rock, if he ran for president.
Elected governor.
I haven't watched this. I just want to
And
catch
today,
a clip
Governor
of him
Jesse
talking about
Ventura
being
says
libertarian.
he just might be ready to do it again.
If I decided
Oh
to
my
run, I would go seek the
was
libertarian
not-
nomination.
I would go seek the
And I sit down
He's like,
and
I'm like if you
Governor
put
Jesse
the
Ventura
dude
says
and
if he is
Frankenstein in the
seriously
fly
considering
machine and mix them
president,
together.
Ventura says that some top libertarians have asked him to run. A fact that's
Marty,
confirmed today by
I'm a
top
libertarian,
party
Marty.
Marty,
Yes,
they
Murphy.
injected me with Frankenstein's DNA. Now I look like this.
updated version of his America.
Changes 9/11 completely.
But it is presidential politics that is top of mind.
Changes
He wants to
9/11
clarify all that talk of
Trump
him
is a
wanting
goof
to be
and a
Donald
clown.
Trump.
Marty, we have to go.
I bet you that's what he
He's running
said.
mate, but I will tell you this. I've known Donald for going on 25
I've
years
known
now.
Donald.
I consider him a friend.
Oh,
And
His mouth, his vocal tract is a literal cave. It's like it just
Yeah.
goes so.
back to him. If he
Back
were
to
to ask
him.
me, I would give it due consideration out of respect to him.
We have
So
to
have
go
you heard
back,
from Donald
Donald.
Trump at all?
We have to go back and stop
and then the
9/11.
fact that he's from Minnesota gets him down there
Presidential
even
he wants to
deeper.
talk
Right,
about
right.
is his own.
I'm considering it right now.
You're considering right now.
And the head,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Jesse Ventura.
just very anticipatory and chip on the shoulder. Like, what
Yeah.
bullshit are you gonna throw at me next?
Yo, what the fuck are you gonna ask? I will crush Donald Trump like a fat kid eats a Snickers bar after PE class. Okay.
Yeah. You ever seen Fargo, pal? I'll stick you
Yeah.
in a wood chipper.
I'm not fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman, all right, pal? Or Philip Baker Hall. Whoever the fuck's in that one. William H. Macy. I'm not that guy, okay, pal?
You're going to see blood splatter all over the snow, pal.
There's going to be a German guy stuffing you into a fucking wood chipper by the end of this, pal. All right. Minnesota.
He had a show on RT.
Did he really?
For some time, yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Let me see. Let me make sure.
The Russian state media? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting, Jesse.
Speaking of William H. Macy.
The world according to Jesse.
Kids say the darndest things.
The world according to Jesse.
The children of Navy SEALs say the darndest things.
Oh, wow. I guess it's still a thing?
Oh, word?
Yeah. He's still, or at least as of, February of
The
this
world
year.
according to Jesse Ventura sounds like Wishbone or some kind of PBS fun educational show.
What's the world?
Jesse?
I'm in Colonial Williamsburg.
I just did a bone saws ready.
I'm a beagle in Colonial Williamsburg, and I've got to do a favor for somebody to get back to 2001, where I exist present day. Isn't that what Milkbone or Wishbone's dog bone?
Pop bone.
Wishbone.
You talking about pop bone?
I want to go back in time and see the towers go down myself. I want to give him a little
my
punch.
very own eyes.
Have you guys seen that PS5 game? I think it's called Meow or Cat or something. I want to play that. Just tangents.
I got a mobile game. It's called Neko Atsume.
Yeah.
It's where you play a cat and you give it little treats and toys.
A lot of people fell off the Fallout mobile game, but I've been playing it since it came out. Just tangents.
What happened to Snake? You'd think they would port it on the newer phones.
Jesse, we were talking about
If anything, it would be kind of easier with the touchscreen.
Jesse, we were talking about your presidential campaign run.
I don't know. What am I doing? I don't know.
I'm running against Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in 2024.
Can you imagine that?
I look like a Hell's
I
Angel
saw
that
the
killed
video
someone at a Grateful
where
Dead concert.
where The Rock was talking
Yeah,
about
he-
potentially.
Yeah,
or
he's like,
consider-
I love America.
It was in the
Everyone
middle.
inside of it.
It was like very like he was like,
Yeah, he was like,
I'm a patriot.
He was playing coy about it.
He's
You're
a
right.
Roganite.
He's like,
Right.
That's the spectrum. That's the
Yeah.
He's on the Rogan part of the political spectrum.
I'm gonna run as a tough on crime Democrat. Cause I'm a political centrist. I don't give a fuck about what happens. I don't care.
What is that shit? Something energy. What is that shit called?
I'm President Camacho
Oh.
in the flesh.
No.
The movie Idiocracy is about me, brother.
Dude.
Can you smell what I'm cooking?
Dude, the Rock went on it was like the Game Awards or E3 or something, and he came on and he's just like, the hierarchy of the DC universe has changed. And he's like in the gym sweating, and he's talking about Black Adam like on Zoom on a phone. And he's like, anyways, Zoe Energy, one of those. And also, enjoy your gaming. I'll see you in October. And God, just enjoy your gaming tickled me. Enjoy your gaming. I'm going back to doing
like he's never
weighted
touched
dips.
never touched a controller in his life.
A controller's this big in my
He
hand.
was told through a game of telephone what video games are before they hit record.
I don't know what gaming is, but I've made a lot of money in gaming movies.
You ever played Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah.
You get to ride
It's
around your
bullshit.
horse. Use a little light from your sword to tell you where to go.
Yeah.
God damn.
I prefer tack.
You go
The
in
power
thinking
of
it's
juju,
going to be
whatever.
violent, but it's a very strategic game. It's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Man.
The Rock. Okay. Whatever. But what's gonna happen in 2024? What do we think? Who's gonna run?
It's going to be over, but
Who's gonna run this bitch?
I
as
already
they
hate
say.
this
I
combo.
don't know, man.
I think The Rock.
Which clown is gonna get the trick off first?
It's fun
in the circus.
It's fun. It's like American Idol. Who's
Yeah.
it gonna be?
Yeah.
Who's the contender?
Oh, man.
Which clown is gonna have the biggest nose?
Ruben stuttered for president.
Oh,
2024.
bro, I would illegally.
Find that special thing. You're flying without wings.
Everything.
That was his winning American Idol song.
So funny.
Yo.
If you think there's election fraud now,
Everyone knows that he swept the competition.
Yeah.
by the
I was
way.
dumbfounded when he lost. I remember I watched.
He won.
Clay Aiken was second place.
Oh wait, that's right.
He won.
Yeah. That's right.
He literally
won.
cleared the whole.
I'll say this. I was dumbfounded when he lost in real life.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what?
That's what dumbfounded.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Damn. You know, one of the most bewildering things looking back, now knowing where he is now, is when I was in high school, we couldn't get, because I went to high school in Alabama, and he's from Alabama. He wore the shirts with 205 on them all the time, and we could not get Ruben Studdard. So Ruben Studdard's mom spoke at my high school.
Wow.
As like
that is
a
so
treat.
fucking weird.
As a treat.
Wait, because they couldn't get Ruben Studdard?
They couldn't get Ruben. He wasn't available.
Hey.
He was busy being sorry for 2004. This was 2006.
And flying without wings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any song he sang. I just remember he was the
Baby,
best.
I'm sorry for
You find that special
2004,
thing.
and I don't want to mess up no more this year.
I felt like it was like illegal for them to say Clay Aiken was gay back then. It was like,
Oh yeah.
like why did we not?
What was his
He
song?
should have just been gay.
What was his song?
His
Clay
song
Aiken had a
was
song.
he did a cover of
Don't start this sentence like you know.
no, it's like something got a girlfriend and she's a very good girl. What's that song?
What? Clay Aiken.
Wait,
No,
I know what
it's
song
the
you're
Supertramp
I know what
song.
song you're thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, do y'all know?
I hate that I'm on his fucking Wikipedia page right now.
Dora the Explorer style. Do you know Clay Aiken's hit song that was a cover of a Supertramp song?
Oh my God.
Something
I
in
need to
a
click-
girlfriend, but she's the only one I got.
Da,
I
da,
think
da,
that
da.
was. I think he covered that.
Not much of a girlfriend.
Ironic.
Ironic.
It should have been boyfriend because he's a gay guy.
He's also a politician, isn't he? Didn't he run for
Clay
something?
Aiken.
I'm
I
seeing
don't know.
politics in
There,
his
Oh, really?
Wikipedia.
Parentheses R next to his name.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm not going down a Clay Aiken.
No,
rabbit
you
hole.
have to, dude. I'm just
For the fans.
Nah, you want to.
For the fans.
That's a joke my friend Tony does all the time. He's like, I fucking hate that. He'll be like, no, you like it. No, you like it, actually.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Man.
Clay Aiken, American Idol. But yeah, who's going to be the next president, guys? Come on. What do you think?
Chris Tucker.
I'd vote for him.
I watched the
Come on, Lee.
Crazy Chris.
Come on, Lee. Come on.
I just hope Trump gets to run against whoever is running.
Oh, come closer.
Crazy Chris. He did the
Don't
one.
know how.
Tucker, I barely know him.
Crazy Chris. He did the worst thing. He did the one thing worse than not paying your taxes. He paid them eventually.
Come on, Lee. Come on.
Who had the story where
He always took my favorite spot on Jeffrey's plane, and it always got under my skin.
who had the
always got under my skin. You know I like the ILC, Chris. Come on.
Yeah. Who had the story where he like he moved in next to Chris Tucker?
You know I like the ILC. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know I like the ILC. Come on.
I love the IOC.
Oh, this bro's he's missing sleep, slacking sleep. Oh God!
Because people walk by, you can rub up on them.
Or he sits in front of me and reclines. It's very rude.
I've got very long legs.
Yeah. It's a nice plane.
Come
but
on,
very
Chuck.
long.
Come on, Chuck. Come on.
Yo, who had the story that was?
I remember we were on the plane with Michael. You and Michael were sitting next to each other.
Spilled champagne on my trousers.
Terrible guy.
Yeah. So somebody had a story about moving in next door to Chris Tucker, and they just see him like outside on his front porch, and he's watching this dude move in, and he just goes for no reason, just goes, "Pay your taxes, man."
Did he get hit for tax evasion?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
I looked up his net worth one
Capone
time.
style.
I looked up his net worth one time, and it said I saw 11 million, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy. I'm glad he got his money. That's cool." And then I looked closer, and I saw a negative.
That's how much he owes or owed.
Negative.
Oh, is he still owing on that?
Yeah.
Those rush hour residual checks are not hitting like that.
It
There's
is
no
funny
way.
when you look up someone's net worth and it's like $100,000 or something.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, but you got a net worth out there. But it's that.
Right. I mean, it's positive.
Yeah, it's positive.
If
Hey.
it's in the positive, fuck you. I'm happy for you. I don't care.
Exactly.
You know, I did watch. I watched the entire Rush Hour trilogy this weekend. I watched.
Really?
Yes, Rush Hours 1 and 2, the whole trilogy.
Can you imagine MJ lecturing Chris Tucker on his taxes?
You need to pay that.
You gotta pay.
You acting real. You acting real ignorant.
You gotta pay.
Law
your
of 72.
taxes,
Do you divide that by the interest rate?
Damn, Michael, I thought you had somebody else handling that for you. No,
Chris,
I always
no,
do
you
my
know I
own
don't try-
accounting.
I do my own
always, that's
taxes.
rule number one.
You gotta
to not do your own accounting is ignorant.
Steve
It's
Harvey
just
said
ignorant.
you gotta keep an eye on your own money.
Oh
Oh
God.
my God, bro.
Rush Hour films we were just talking about are fucking amazing.
Yeah, they're so
And we were
good,
laughing about how it was white men who wrote that fucking
man.
movie.
Two white men wrote the most racist to everybody but white people movie on the planet.
And I was saying,
I don't want no goddamn chicken, man. I like my chicken dead and deep fried. Put the chicken down, man.
I was saying that
I need to rewatch all
I'm an
these.
officer of the law.
I was saying that somehow makes it funnier to me, and I was saying I'm just imagining it was a bunch of balding, pot-bellied white men in Hawaiian shirts with the collar
Yeah,
open.
it's a bunch of who's the Pixar guy who was a creep?
Yes.
It's all of them.
Yeah,
Is it
It's like a-
Lasseter?
Yeah, John Lasseter. It's a bunch
yeah.
of John Lasseter looking
Yeah.
guys.
like a Animaniacs cartoon of people.
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't Brett Ratner?
Fat white guys.
Brett Ratner got caught for some shit too, right?
Tax evasion stuff? you're
No.
saying?
No, for like.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't-
Me Too
I don't have
stuff?
any-
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
Yeah, well, he directed those movies.
yeah.
There's
I'm thinking of Bryan Singer when you said Brett Ratner.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the clip of when they stop a scene? I think it's the scene in like the Chinese restaurant where they're
Where Jackie Chan starts directing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we
yeah.
mentioned that on a previous
yeah.
episode, but
That's all my references are from this show.
do you
now,
guys
so it's
remember?
like-
We at least
do you guys
talked about it
remember
in,
when we
in
talked about
some conversation.
yeah.
We did what now?
We at least talked about that in some
Yeah.
conversation.
No, that's a great clip.
as well as him
Yeah.
performing some of the title songs from the Mulan soundtrack.
Yeah, right.
And we got copyright claims for
this is the clip show episode.
Disney doesn't play, man.
This is the clip episode of
Like,
Jaded.
wow, you thought because it was in Chinese we weren't going to notice?
We're doing
Mulan, motherfucker.
Right.
We're doing a Jaded Bottle episode today. This is
Jerry Goldsmith did the score for that film, I'm pretty sure.
No way.
Yes, same man who did
The Star Trek?
Alien
for which film?
Mulan.
Oh, word.
Am I correct in that? I
think
am.
I don't think any of us know.
I am correct. That's pretty trippy that Jerry Goldsmith did the score to Mulan.
That's like
Yeah.
when we did the Mickey Rooney thing, and you're like, I think Mickey Rooney. Yes, he was. And it's like, why even ask?
I'm really not sure. It's like I know I'm pulling from
I
the
just think
subconscious.
Your
Yeah.
memory is so funny because it's like dead on.
Right.
But I'm pulling from the subconscious, so it's
Yeah.
always like it's a mixed bag.
Who's the guy that did all? He did like American Beauty. It was all the like. Oh, it was like Thomas Newman who did all the like xylophone, like dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah.
That shit. I eat that shit up.
You know what I watched? Oh, I forgot it does
It's
that.
the
I forgot
intersectometer.
it does that. You know what I watched? That's like a precursor to Rush Hour is fucking Last Dragon. Have you seen that?
No,
It's
I haven't. No.
No.
When you said precursor, I just thought of Jack and Daxter and the precursor or
Oh, yeah.
Legacy,
That's
whatever.
where I learned the word precursor.
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
don't know what it means, but
In New York City, a young man searches for a master to obtain the final level of martial arts mastery known as the glow.
The glow.
To reach the final level, your body, mind, and soul must be one.
Is it a musical?
It's a sacrifice. You gotta work hard. It's a way of life. It's the most. It's the most. First of all,
it's called Last Dragon.
Last Dragon. You are the last dragon.
Is he a dragon for real?
No.
Like, does he change into one?
He
Le dernier dragon.
So it's in another language.
So
let me get this shit out. Let me get this French bullshit out. Let me get this French colonizer bullshit out the screen, man. We don't fuck with that shit, man.
Let's bring up that English colonizer bullshit. Let's go.
Yeah,
Come on now.
I understand that shit, man.
Come on now.
Hold on.
Come on now.
So first of all,
okay, I got that high res. 1 second, hold on. Let me put the image up while you talk about it. Hold on. So people got an image.
Barry Gordy's the last.
Barry Gordy.
It's a
so
Motown.
it's a musical.
It's a Motown
Barge. What
it's
the fuck is this?
It's
Stevie Wonder.
It's the most bizarre. It's the most bizarre soundtrack I've ever heard in my life. Because it's all like,
hold the fuck on. Are you reading the text on this poster?
We might have to watch this,
bro.
No. He's a Bruce Lee fan who's so sure he's Oriental that he eats popcorn with chopsticks.
Yes. Yeah. In the third scene of the movie, I think.
Oriental?
He
I'm
walks
thinking of the copywriter was like, Oriental is actually a capital O.
Like,
just be respectful.
As in the Orient?
Yeah, as in the Orient. The Far East.
Yeah, you know, like a rug?
You know the part of the world that you have to go through a mist to get into? Right. It's like a magical world, like Pandora.
Right. Yeah, you know, like...
It's the Orient.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, you know like the ramen flavor? He's like that.
Yeah.
He's like that.
What the fuck?
Dog,
wow.
It's the most,
I was reading this and I was like, wow, we have to watch this, but wow,
the soundtrack is actually crazy.
I mean, you got fucking the Temptations and Stevie Wonder and DeBarge, but you got Orientalism too. God damn.
I mean, bro, this is like, that's why I say it's a precursor to Rush Hour, because this is before they got to the point where like people were like they could slip it under the radar of problematic shit. You know what I'm saying? Or this is like,
this is a blaxploitation.
This is a blaxploitation film.
Yeah.
I'm like about
from 1985.
Yeah.
1985.
1985. Another summer. Yeah. But they call them a bunch of racial slurs for Asian people, not for black people.
What?
Oh, that makes it okay.
Yeah. Well, like old 70s ones too that you wouldn't know.
Oh, that I don't even know.
That you wouldn't know were slurs if you didn't.
God, the 70s, they were cooking. They were innovating.
Yeah.
With the slurs.
I wouldn't have known. I literally watched it with an Asian girl who told me in the moment, like, oh, why are they calling him that?
Why are they calling him that?
Why do they keep calling him that?
I think it's a racist 80s film.
Yeah.
Oh,
man,
boy.
They were like type shit, like type crazy for real.
That
like.
shit crazy. Bro. That shit crazy, bro. But they perfected the formula. They perfected the formula in the 1990s.
What movies came out in 1985 apart from that? I'm trying to think. I can think of movies from like every year, but 1985 on the nose. I'm trying to think.
Right. I'm Googling this.
Like, I bet you there was a Back to the Future sequel that year.
The Breakfast Club?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's not 84? I thought that would be 84.
I'm just looking at the top
Okay, so what
results.
What
Goonies is coming up.
What came out on your
Yep,
birthday?
85.
1985.
Goonies is 85?
Yeah.
Aliens is 85? I thought that was like 88 or something.
I don't see. Oh, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Pee-wee's Big Pee-Pee.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's one of the first films I remember watching as a kid.
This show is just,
that's so funny.
I hear something and then I finish it in my head and then I just tell you what I heard in my head.
The fact that you didn't go Pee-Pee's Big Adventure.
No, Pee-wee's Big Pee-Pee. Because Pee-wee is already funny. You gotta add something on top of that.
Pee-Pee.
Pee-wee's Big Pee-Pee.
Pee-wee's Big
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Seeing anything else?
That's it.
Oh,
that's all the
Back to
movies.
the Back to the Future?
Was it the first
Back
one?
to the Future.
Back to the Future.
We gotta go back, Marty.
Yo,
we gotta go back and stop 9/11,
not
Marty.
RIP, but prayers to Jay Leno, who, and this isn't funny at all.
Did he crash a car?
No, a car he was sitting in exploded into flames. God damn it! We gotta cut that. We gotta cut that.
We can't.
Did this just happen
Today, I think.
Yeah,
Hasn't
it's
he
not
just
funny.
died?
No.
He's not
alive.
dead. He's just. I think the headline said seriously burned, which is not. It's terrible. It's terrible. Prayers to him. Prayers to him.
Holy
I'm dead serious.
shit.
I don't know. And what's crazy is people are like, oh, he was in a Tesla, huh? And people are like, no, actually, it was a gasoline explosion. Okay, get off his back.
Well,
now
you
people
saw
are
this
arguing.
video, right? The Tesla car in China.
No,
It just-
but I've seen
someone was
so many
hitting-
fucked up Tesla
Yeah.
videos of
This
it
one
hitting
was
people.
wild.
And
There's
just
someone was hitting the brake remotely, and you can see the brake lights are turning on, but the car just doesn't stop, and then swerves back onto the road, and then just accelerates and goes like over 120 miles per hour and just kills like two or three people or something like that.
Let me tell
Maybe
you
two
something.
people.
Outside of an Uber by necessity of convenience, I'm never getting in a fucking Tesla ever. I'm never driving one. I'm never buying one. I'm never ever using one ever.
Yeah, we can just tack that on to one of many reasons this week to say fuck Elon Musk.
Right. I will rather buy an electric car made by a company that makes cars and has been making cars than buy his fucking startup bullshit.
I would rather buy a car that's made of electricity.
I would rather buy a car that's made of Elon Musk, his flesh stretched over the chassis of the vehicle.
I would rather buy Elon Musk.
No, I'm not gonna go there. I can't do that.
Forge his bones into weapons.
Yeah, I'm actually a car. Elon Musk in the movie Cars, and he's a Tesla.
Mato, what are you doing?
It's like this guy's in, what's the name of the town? Motor Town or some shit?
Oh my god.
Because Radiator
City.
Springs.
Motor City.
This guy's the biggest dick in Radiator Springs. Thinks he knows better than everybody else. And he's an electric car, so he never shuts the fuck up. He's always got energy.
He's always beefing with Finn McMissile. Finn McMissile, you know? Michael Caine did the voice of a car named Finn McMissile.
If that's not in the first movie, then I'm going to be pissed off. If you're referencing Cars 2 or Beyond, I'm just going to be so fucking mad.
Finn McMissile is a
Cars
character in
2,
Cars
what are
2.
you doing?
He's a British spy car who mistakes Tow Mater for an American spy and recruits him in the mission to solve the conspiracy to sabotage the World Grand Prix.
Conspiracy.
Oh my god, bro. It's a British intelligence
How has
car.
Cars
Oh my
managed
God,
to
bro.
be propaganda?
Yeah.
Finn McMissile.
Yeah. It's the deep state, Hunter.
Finn McMissile.
Yo, I was dying laughing at one point, thinking like
Pixar Wiki.
if Mater had a spinoff and they called it Vehicles. I don't know why that's so funny.
That's funny.
Vehicles.
I'm sure there's a knockoff Cars movie called Vehicles.
I just retweeted something today. There were people. Someone tweeted like, "I'm laughing at this.
It's not
Cars."
even just cars. It's just more expansive than.
There was going to be one called Metro that was going to be trains. It was going to be cars, but it
Get
takes
the
place
fuck
in New York
outta
City.
here. No, get the
no,
fuck out
it's
of here.
listen, it's cars. It takes place in New York
No.
City. So there's still a bunch of cars because everyone's a
No.
car, but then it's the trains have a personality.
That would be
No.
such an angry movie.
What? Why are you drawing the line?
No.
You just
No, I'm
referenced
not drawing
Cars
the
too.
line. I think this is ridiculous.
That would be-
I thought it was ridiculous.
defending him.
I thought it was ridiculous from the beginning. This is only getting more ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
that's really Pixar's weakest idea.
oh,
By a mile.
it is. When I
No
first,
pun
when they
intended.
first were announcing it, however many years ago, I literally thought it was like an Onion, like joke.
Really?
God, bro.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, but they had to balance out how masterful The Incredibles was.
Yeah.
What else
They
can we
couldn't ju- they-
anthropomorphize?
they
What else
couldn't
can we
all-
anthropomorphize? What else can we anthropomorphize? Cars.
Cars, dude.
Cars.
Cars. And
God damn it, you got it.
And the-
I-
and the
I-
eyes
and
will
I
be
bet
the-
you
the
billion-
eyes will be
billions
the
of
headlamps of the
dollars. Let me see
car,
how
right?
much-
Yeah.
The eyes will be the
Okay.
headlights of the car, right? Shut the fuck up.
No,
it's
those
gonna
are
be the windshield.
Those are the titties.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah, those
you
are the
fucking
boobs.
goon.
Oh
Those
my
are the car's
God.
boobs.
The first one came out in 2006?
That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, you were ahead being like, this is bullshit. Because when it came out, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, sure. Cars.
Yeah.
The
I don't give a
first
fuck.
film did 462 million.
Oh my god.
The box.
That's why there's a trilogy.
I literally said billions, just like trying to exaggerate. And
Oh my god.
now I'm on
bro.
the Wikipedia for the franchise. I'm gonna see how much it's netted.
See what the production budget was. Let's see what it netted. That's great, man. I'm glad. I mean, they were smart.
Oh my
the merchandise
fucking God.
they got off of that is next level.
Oh my god. It's literally almost $2 billion.
Oh my god.
Just gross. What they gross worldwide.
Worldwide.
Because you're not seeing.
Yeah.
God damn it, you're a genius.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
You're not seeing the big picture here. Most movies you can sell a couple of toys. Am I right?
Yeah.
This movie we're selling
man.
cars,
Vehicles.
I
vehicles.
Oh, that took me a second.
Yo.
Wow.
Okay,
I swear.
The fact that you were laughing when you didn't get it is what's more confusing.
Well,
No, the fact that this isn't
laugh.
even accounting for merchandising. This is literally just the movies.
yeah.
That
Dude.
is sick.
You know,
I'm
people in
sorry,
South
that is
Korea were just
sick.
like, "This is fire." I'm seeing this 8 times. You know, doesn't matter. It transcends
Toe
language.
Mater.
Oh, like a tomato.
Oh my god.
Toe Mater.
And he's a tow truck.
We got to change the subject. This is
Played
making me
by Larry,
sad.
the goddamn kid.
Sad? Why would that make you sad? That's it's great. $2 billion were spent on seeing cars in theaters.
Why are you sad? You know how much that stimulated the economy? Z?
You know
Why
what
would
we
you
should
be
have
sad
as
that-
the main car?
Do you know how many people were employed
Wes
through the
Anderson's
Cars franchise?
Owen Wilson should be the main car. Ka-chow, wow, I'm drifting. Eat my fucking dust. Wow.
Cars Tokyo Drift.
I got paid millions of dollars to be a car.
trilogy is
Yeah. actually
Department of Defense propaganda. It
Yeah. was
their first venture into 3D.
Cars 4 Japanese export.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, wow.
God damn.
Also did a movie with Jackie Chan. Wow, Jack.
What was it called again?
Jackie, calm down. It's
Was it
Shanghai
Sha-
Night.
Shanghai-
It's the Shanghai
Shanghai
Night.
Wow. At this time in the 1800s.
We're
It's
just-
like Rush Hour in the 1800s.
We're just
with
ha-
Owen Wilson.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, buddy, calm down. We're just having a night in Shanghai.
And maybe there's a K for a pun.
Oh, wait.
Isn't
Shanghai Nights was the sequel.
Oh, was it?
It's Shanghai Noon.
Oh, wow.
Shanghai Noon. It was a.
Oh, noon, night. I
It was
get
what was it?
Got it.
What's the term?
A pun?
A ramen western.
A ramen western. Oh.
Again
Actually,
with the
no, that's-
Orientalism.
Wait.
No, that's no. Tampopo is a ramen western. Have you seen that?
No.
It's
I've heard of that movie, though.
Yeah, it's a movie about a woman who owns a ramen shop.
Yeah, I've heard that's actually an amazing movie.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah,
It's a very
like
good
great
movie.
food photography.
Yeah.
Is that a real word though? Ramen western? I guess spaghetti western. Ramen would be the replacement.
Yeah, I think not for Shanghai Noon, but
Oh, okay.
because that's Chinese.
Tanpopo.
but-
Tanpopo.
Yeah, Tanpopo is Japanese, but
Tom Papas.
Tom Papa owns a ramen shop in. I don't know where he's from, but
Oh, I mixed up him and George Papas or whatever.
Greg Proops,
No, there's
George Papadopoulos,
Greg Proops.
Greg Proops.
Yeah.
That's the dude where I said, "Isn't he racist?" And you were like, "What?" You remember this might have been the first
He's a
episode.
big like
Oh,
Hill Dog
yeah?
fan. Like,
Yeah,
he's,
it was
he's
some
a
shit.
big he's a big dem lib, but
Hillary Clinton.
that's probably because he played Ben Quadranero.
Yeah.
Or no, he wasn't. He was the voice of
Yeah.
those guys, the two
Oh,
necks.
okay.
And it's Skywalker.
Now this is pod racing.
Lil Annie.
I got boots race. That's one of my favorite lines. He's like, I got boots race. They're like, what? What are you saying? I wagered your son and your lives on. I love that movie. Rules. Don't worry, I secretly wagered your son's life on this game. Don't worry, Shmee.
Me. Isn't that also one of Hook's lackeys from Smee?
Yeah, I always liked Peter Pan, so I took that. Named Anakin's mom that.
Oh yeah.
I like Watto as a name.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Watto.
Name my first
Watto for a
firstborn
girl,
that.
Smee for a boy.
I think of it because people call me Zeto.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Watto Zeto.
That's you did that. I mean,
That's like your
it's
Waluigi.
it's your handle. It's your handle.
Right.
Yeah, your Bizarro.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just like, damn, do you watch the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. That's
We
not
don't know.
why.
The dude, the laptop, I don't pay too much. I peeped his IG though.
Yeah.
Zeto?
Yeah.
You go by Zeto? It's like, that's the train of
Zeto?
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? in
Zed
English?
heads? Are you a Zed head?
Yeah.
That's what the Z fans are going to be in the future. They're going to call themselves Zed heads.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Zeto is Japanese pronunciation of Zed or Z.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Makes sense.
Or if you, like me, grew up watching Dragon Ball Z in Spanish, you watched Dragon Ball Zeta. Zeta.
It's fire.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm thinking about organized crime in Mexico.
Why? Oh,
man.
just
I don't want to go. I'm not fully going down there, but I'm just gonna pull it up so y'all know what I'm referencing.
The entire avocado industry.
Oh, okay. The entire avocado industry. Wait, what? When did I saw that? Or did you send? I have no memory, but
I've just heard.
someone was saying something about how avocados are more valuable than like Coke down there or some shit.
I mean,
I saw some video of someone saying that.
I've talked to friends from LA about how there used to be avocados just on the ground everywhere in LA, and now they're like charging extra for it on anything because. And I don't have any like sources to back this up, but like I've heard rumblings of like cartels running the entire.
You've been hearing rumblings
I've
about the
heard
cartel?
rumblings.
I think it's documented.
I've heard of,
I think
I know it is, but
what I heard
haven't
is
seen
that
the
they come
documents.
from a specific place in Mexico, and that's the only place you can get them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're worth
Yeah.
more than anything.
And
But it used to not be that way.
Some organized group has like a monopoly basically on that whole
Yeah.
process in that town,
Yeah.
kind of. If my memory is serving me correctly.
So when you're doing
you're
lines
looking
of blow and eating avocado toast, just know you're contributing.
Just
The thing
switch them.
The thing that gets me tight is like
Do
I'm
blow
always
toast.
getting avocado when I like in shit where I don't want it. Like when I never asked for it too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's
It's-
so much waste going on.
Right. It's so easy to get it by accident. Like imagine if you just got like gold when you didn't want it.
Yeah, man. When there's too much avocado, like too much avocado spread, it's too.
Yeah.
I
They
don't
lay
like
it
that
on
shit.
so thick when they do.
Yeah, man. I really hate when sandwiches are unwieldy. It really frustrates me.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We're in New York. It's $9 sandwich minimum if we're talking about a hero.
Platforms like YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, they're all ass. They don't respect your privacy, they're riddled with ads, and they're completely silent and unreachable when you need help. Have you ever talked to somebody at YouTube? Think about that. I sure haven't. To top it all off, we don't control them at all, despite being the reason they exist.
So that's why we're partnering with a design and development agency called Sanctuary Computer to build our own cooperative alternatives that bring the best features of all those platforms together and that we can control together too.
We seriously got to have an exodus to some sort of digital Zion that we build ourselves. Somewhere where all of us can actually have a say over the technology that we're using to communicate with each other. For more on how you can support us all in getting off these shitty platforms, visit opencollective.com/digital Zion and tap in.
Just because these dystopian systems are eating themselves alive
doesn't mean they gotta take us with them.
Now is the perfect time to talk about food production under global capitalism.
Let's go.
Let's organically dive into that.
Yeah. And now. Oh my God. Segway God.
Segway.
Yeah, I might be bringing up something else.
Yeah, Segway Plus on Instagram.
Yeah, Segway Plus. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, right.
Segway Plus is kind of hard. That sounds like the name of an album.
That should be like your Finsta. Segway Plus.
That's your sophomore album. Yeah.
Do you remember when Segways came out and they're like, they're only $3,000?
Yes.
And they're like, and and it has the bottom of a Honda Civic, and you're driving that with a pole. And look, come to the mall. You can try it.
Everyone's gonna be riding these babies.
And before you ask for it,
my legs are cool.
What about bosses? Who fucking said that? Shut the fuck up.
And before you ask for it, we already got Kevin James on the movie. We already got him on the movie. Dude.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. He perpetuated Segways for another decade because of Blart.
Yeah.
Blartism.
Yeah. We got the hoverboard because of that. I feel like
honestly, Paul Blart's a good movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like that movie.
Hitch is a good movie.
Hitch is a good movie.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I love Hitch.
You know who's obsessed with Hitch?
Zach.
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah. He's obsessed with Hitch.
I haven't seen Hitch.
You know who's obsessed with Zach?
Me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I was like, I haven't seen Hitch since it was like completely politically relevant. You know, it wasn't. I saw it newborn.
I think I watched it last year, maybe this year or last year. I watched it. I think it was this year.
Keep Kevin James out my wife's mouth.
Keep my wife out of Kevin James' mouth.
It's like a charming movie. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's like a 3 out of 4.
There's like a scene I remember, and I was like, "Whoa, this is intense." And it was when he takes, I forget the name of the actress, but to like Ellis Island. Yeah, Eva Mendes. He takes her to Ellis Island. She's like, "This is fucking weird." She's like, well, first of all, we just drove jet skis in the Hudson River. That's disgusting. And second of all, why are we at Ellis Island looking at my grandparents?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right.
He's like, I'm sorry. I thought it would be charming. I thought that would be charming. I'm Hitch. It's like, I'd prefer it if you were a fat white guy. Honestly. I'd prefer it if you were Kevin James, right?
You know.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, man.
But A. Marie on the soundtrack, that's like part of it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that just slaps. And it was when they would make music videos where they're splicing in shots from the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did that.
All the best. Money Cash Hose by Jay-Z is just like some Mark Wahlberg action movie in the music video, and it's hilarious.
Just Friends by Music Soul Child is just like Dr. Dolittle clips.
Dude, that rules. That rules.
That is so funny.
Yo, it's so funny.
Bro. I mean, the Inspector Gadget song.
This might seem strange.
There are so many. Celine Dion for the Stuart Little films.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, Stuart Little was such a good movie.
I'm alive. I'm pretty sure. Is I'm Alive on the Stuart Little? Let me
see. We don't talk about Stuart Little enough.
We don't talk about Celine Dion enough.
I don't know. I just don't know shit about her, so I'm never gonna bring her up. But
I was literally wearing.
It is Stuart Little 2 soundtrack.
But Stuart Little was like another early 2000s. Wow, we live in a world where we can make Stuart Little now because of CGI.
All right,
imagine
we couldn't do that before.
In the 80s. This would be a fucking shit show.
Remember the Proops?
Stuart Little would be a fucking 5 foot tall man.
Yeah. Yes.
It'd probably just be Michael J. Fox in a furry costume.
Yeah.
It would have been a person who's actually that size who we exploited.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Stuart Little.
Yeah. It's Gilbert Godfrey
with Goofy like Chuck Taylor.
I'm Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Look how little I am.
The cheese is too big for me to eat.
Look at me. What are you doing with the cheese? I'm in a boat race. Why would you leave a fucking cat at the house when I'm here alone? You ever seen a mouse wearing a sweater?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the boat race. Hugh Laurie teaches him how to make yachts out of fucking paper, and then he, whatever. the boat race. Like, what version of New York does that even take place in? It's not real.
Right.
We didn't consider the weight of the mouse.
I remember good color grading for that film. I could be misremembering.
I think that's the plot of Annie also. I think it's just like an orphan who's like a rich guy, like a crook, like takes him and makes him his own, and then they have to rescue him from the crook. It's basically the same plot as Annie.
Wait, of Annie?
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry, but I'm still on this color. I'm still on this color grading thing about Stuart Little, and I'm also thinking about The Borrowers. Also had amazing color grading.
So you don't know anything about that.
The what?
John Goodman.
The what did?
The Borrowers.
Never watched that one.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah.
Let me see if I can find. Came out in 1997.
Yeah.
It's basically these people that live, these tiny people that live in a house. And this guy, I don't even.
These tiny people,
plot.
and they live in the house.
John Goodman is trying to get them out of the fucking, like an exterminator type figure. I don't remember why.
See, anything like that where it's like family that's weird, like the Coneheads or the Borrowers or the little guy. Like I don't know.
They're tiny
Are you hating on the Borrowers?
And they live in a house.
I don't know anything about it. So
you sound like a hater, Connor.
Maybe I'll just sign up. I am a hater. Fuck it.
People in the comments.
Connor is a hater and he lives in a house.
You know you don't want to do it. You know you don't want to do it. That's an L. That's an L. That's an L for him.
Anyone bold enough to stand for the Borrowers, 1997, starring John Goodman. Connor L. For not seeing it, one.
Borrowers
Dismiss
L.
it.
Borrowers L. This time stamp.
You know what?
We'll see. Connor W.
We'll see.
Yo, you know what this reminds me of? While you're pulling that up, this reminds me of a few like
Come on, y'all.
I've seen it. It's just been a long time.
Wow, a Hollywood film about a big guy and little people.
There's gonna be so many people in the comments now. They're gonna be like, I fucking forgot about that movie. I loved it so much. Connor L. Just wait.
Now you're pushing for it so hard.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do it.
No, I'm letting
Nobody's
him.
Gonna do
I'm letting him self-destruct. The whatever shrug he just gave.
Like, I don't even care.
We'll see.
I don't even care.
Nice. Buck teeth. Is that a sausage? What are they sitting on? Is that a pile of shit?
The color grading.
Is that a pile of shit?
That's what it looks like. Looks like a literal turd.
Daddy, I'm sitting on my dookie. In my dookie chair.
You know
the color grading though, fucking amazing. You should watch it off of that.
No, yeah.
Alone, literally just visually how it looks.
I also love John Goodman and anything.
Yeah, same.
Like a year or so ago. This is like mid-pandemic when people were just meeting up in like very small groups, isolated. A friend of mine who's a comedian, Mike Recine.
Oh yeah.
Hey Mike, how
Recine.
you doing? He texted me and was like, "Hey man, if you want to come through, a couple people, like we're in my backyard just cooking out. If you want to come through, just get some food." He lives pretty close to me, and the way he said it, I got the impression it was like he was having a party or something like that. And I'm just like, "Yo, yeah, I'll come through. I'm around the corner. Let me just pull up." So I like skated down there, went through this little like he had like a weird fence situation where you gotta like kind of edge up against the wall between the fence to get to his backyard. And I walk back there, and I get there, and it's just him and his wife.
That's it.
and their dog. They're cooking out, and like I'm sitting there for a second, and then the second I sit down, his wife leaves.
I summoned you here
and
today.
It's just me and Mike, and then a few minutes. We don't, for the record, we don't eat anything. And he just goes, "So you want to watch Great Mouse Detective?"
That's in line with
we
this.
just watched Great Mouse Detective, and I haven't seen him since.
Since like 2 years.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I see him on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck. Great comic.
1986.
One time I did a show with him where
reminds me of The Rescuers Down Under.
I did
all these little mouse little movies.
Yeah.
Rival.
I did a show with him one time
Rival Goes West.
where Where
I haven't
you haven't seen
that.
Fifo Goes West?
No.
Oh, that was
Whoa.
like
I haven't.
Connor.
that's
Nah, this one's
okay,
easy.
this one's real.
Look,
This
if the
one's
last
real.
one, if I didn't get you on the last one, this is the one.
That's
This
a
is
movie.
the one.
All
That's a
you
movie you can
fucking
see.
nostalgia addicts can eat my ass.
Oh, bro, that movie and like Balto are movies you can see by accident. Like,
yeah, no, I probably did.
Yeah. There are no cats in America, and the streets are
Somewhere
made
out
of
there.
cheese.
Somewhere out there.
No,
Man.
no, it's all good, man.
About the pandemic, though, was what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Completely set the politics of mask, no mask, vax, no vax. Should we wear masks? Should we not? What? Set all that aside. And by the way, the answer is yes to both. But set all that aside. I hated that shit when people were having cute social distance park gatherings.
yeah.
That shit bothered me so much.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, this isn't fucking like, yeah, there's your sandwich. Like, let's eat. Like, I don't know. That shit got me tight. It's like, I don't know. I
There's a
didn't
performative-
don't gather. I don't
There's
know.
a performative element to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
virtue signaling through a pandemic.
To me, it was
Oh,
like,
you mean when they're like,
here's the frustration. It's not even that. It's, yeah, we'll get together, but we gotta be rigidly strict about all these things. And it's like,
oh yeah,
either don't get together or just get together.
dude.
I don't know. Something about it just fucking bothered me.
right?
Like we had family
No,
over.
but
we were
you have to virtue signal. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of
I
it.
guess so.
Right.
It's
I
to
guess
signal that we
Yeah.
are being one, social against the odds,
Right.
and two, we are really on our ball with.
Right.
We're on the ball with our protection.
Right.
You either watch The Great Mouse Detective or you don't. You
Yeah.
got to pick a side.
It's like, just because you're not built like me, who could just not see anybody for long periods of time and be fine with it,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you have to do this cutesy shit.
Right.
I hated it. I don't know.
But on the subject of Mike, last thing I'll say about him, we did a show one time that I hosted where a woman heckled him during his set because he had a joke about, and he might not want me to tell this story. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him and we can cut it out. But like he has a joke about how moms are better than dads.
Mhm.
That's the premise of the joke. It's a very funny joke. But before he got any of this joke out, a woman yells out from the crowd, "No, my dad died."
Oh my God. Shut up.
And I'm sitting
Shut
here
the
like,
fuck up.
I'm sitting here like, you couldn't be. This is the most dangerous situation in it.
Why give that? Why give that to him?
Why give him that? Because like that's a legitimate reason to be upset. But why hand this thing to a man who is gonna
who should just be like, good, shut up. I'm doing comedy. Fuck you.
Yeah. She says my dad died, and he immediately, just without skipping a beat, he goes, "Oh yeah, when did he kill himself?"
Yeah. That would have gotten me. That's good.
Yeah, it was bad, man.
Did a lot of people laugh?
A lot of people laughed, and she didn't. She
Well,
laughed.
Yeah.
It was just like
stepped on a rake on that one. I don't know what to tell
I've
you.
just never seen two people be so wrong
You Looney Tuned yourself on that one.
Yeah, you did. Ran right into the painted tunnel.
Yeah.
This is unrelated.
No way.
You said you brought up nostalgia earlier, and I had in my notes from some time ago, like notes just trying to explore the idea of like nostalgia as a trauma response. Like I even think about it at I'm not like thinking about like an individual that's like gone to this extreme level, because we've seen that, we know those they get, media covers them, media publications cover them or do stories on them. It's like, oh look, this person has collected every fucking Simpsons merchandise piece or whatever. Not to say that all those people are fucked up, but probably
the people who just live amongst Simpsons collectibles and that's all they do.
Yeah.
The big one I remember is a woman who was obsessed with the Ninja Turtles franchise, and that was one where I felt like, oh, there's some trauma here. Like she was collecting the animatronic puppets, collecting all of whatever, and it's like all she thought about, all she talked about, all she whatever. But I'm not talking about that. I'm thinking about at a collective level. I'm thinking about how like you'll be on TikTok and there's like a whole type of TikTok where they're playing the same track, and it's like, remember when we were kids and times were simple, and it's like showing pictures of like landscapes from our elementary schools and like toys and whatever. And it's like thousands of people just like cycling
and
through
it'll be
that
Gen
over
Z,
and
like,
over.
Remember 2017? I hate that shit so much. Remember
9/11? Times were so good.
Remember the 20th anniversary of 9/11?
but it's like, okay, it's like depressing, obviously, and it makes me think about like the importance of like trying to cultivate actually new art experiences, traditions, subcultures, like we can't like be stuck grabbing on to whatever we can from the fucking past and just sitting in it.
I mean, bro, it's really interesting because it's kind of a two-pronged dynamic where it almost feels like it's a reaction to the fact that nothing, at least you can perceive that nothing new is being made anymore, because the way Hollywood works is like they just are looking for what's reliable and what's worked in the past. And so everything, like having pitched TV shows before, the advice you get is like, you got to make sure there are comps for how they can sell it. So it's like this meets this, or it's this meets this. And it's like, it's kind of,
now it's like eating itself.
It's eating itself to the point where like, it's interesting that it almost reflects the way that like when a mass of people, like when the global population has its hands on something versus when like this top-down centralized unit has its hands on something, even if it's the same concept, it can be so different in how it's in its application, because like it feels like people are reaching backward in response to another entity reaching backward and trying to put the same shit in your face.
Well, you know? that's a part of it. I'm really thinking about it at the broadest level. I'm thinking beyond. Media is a huge part of it, but I'm literally just thinking about like, that's why I said as a trauma response. It's probably not the best way to describe it, but it's like that same dynamic in media, but just all across the board. It's like, and it's just, I'm thinking about it in relation to the imagination conversation that we're always having. It's like I also think it's a collective trauma response, in the sense that for a lot of us, our childhoods were like very authoritarian, like in the school, in the household, whatever. And these things that we're nostalgic over were basically our escapes in those times, in our developmental years, right? So it's deep at that level and layer too. So my thinking just goes to like, for the next generation of children and like for ourselves, what are we actually like generating and cultivating, you know, and thinking like about what you said in terms of media, but just in society as a whole. And and I'm gonna zoom out even more. It's like, I even think I was thinking this year, like, damn, like Christmas is like, there's so much like, in my humble opinion, cool shit that comes with Christmas, but a lot of the stuff that we associate with Christmas is shit that was people came up with in the last 100 years or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you really think we're supposed to hold on to something like the traditions of like Christmas in the Western world in this static like place and just carry it on until the end of time? And like maybe holidays aren't the best thing to zero in on, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, how can we have like a broader, it's also tied to this world building piece. It's like, what are holidays, you know, in a society that, you know, values the things that we value, and like, what are the, you know, how do we celebrate? What are the rituals? Maybe a part of it is coming from the past and past traditions, but that's also a thing that's carried on. It's like when we think of Christmas and Christmas traditions, that's also made up of traditions from all around the world and Europe, like converging, and then new media. So it's like, but I'm saying all of this because I feel like between like social media and the global corporatization and centralization of everything, we're literally like at a wall right now. Like culturally, like creative, at least in the sense of like being able to collaborate or get new expressions or ideas out to more people, and building like just like cultural consensus and trust, and there being a sense of like, oh, we have a shared idea and path, and like that informs the schools that our kids are in, the food that we're eating, the holidays we're celebrating, the time we're spending with each other. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's just so much to talk about.
I know,
with this.
there's so many layers to it.
Like the one thing I wanted to say about I want to say something about the trauma side and something about the making new shit side.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, a director named Ian, I worked with him on this thing in Dallas, and it was like, he is the sweetest guy, he's the nicest guy, he's very fun, funny, and he's very peppy and like up, and he's kind of like juvenile. He has like kind of a juvenile sense of humor, but like in a way that's not annoying or grating. It's like just nice, and it's partially, and he's very open about this. Like his dad was shitty and abusive, and so trauma locked him in at that age. Like, like I remember him posting something about someone posting, like he posted something that was talking about that, and he was like, "This, I relate to this," and I think that's really true. I think it can lock you into a certain age, but in so that on the trauma piece, I think is really interesting to think about culturally also. But on the making new shit side, like I've always had this propulsion, this ambition towards like new shit, doing new shit, upping my life and getting to new places and exploring and just I've never been like the life peaked in high school guy. I'm always like the better days the better days have yet to come. I've always felt that way. So like, and that's been like, even when I went to college, people like, so like I feel like the 2000s happened, and then you watch them kind of end, and then the dust settles, the tempo slows, and then it's like, all right, we're all just here now. We have social media, and then you see this big nostalgia wave, this N64 vaporwave thing,
VHS effect,
start coming in the early 2010s, and then you go to college, and it's like everyone remembers the same Nickelodeon shows and the N64 shit and the Pokemon. Everyone's into this nostalgia, and then it's like we don't even have to talk about the massive market that creates, the cottage industry that creates just off that alone. I mean, half your Instagram ads are just that, but it's like, it's so interesting.
Literally bought a fucking
I mean, and hey, some of it is, this is just postmodern culture, is just the ability to have a curated society of history. But at the other end, to your wall point, I mean, it really does feel, I took a class, and it was a film history class or a media history class, and this lady, the professor, like basically was talking about, I don't think it was her personal ideas, but her curriculum, there was a through line about how we're in a post-cultural society where culture literally has reached an end. And I remember some people in the class being like, that's bullshit, that can't happen. And it's like, no, it can, if there's no history, if there's actually no progression of culture from a historical standpoint, culture does end.
Where we're tracking, where we can track it, you know? And not just in the sense that the track is out in the fucking noise, but like I said, I use the expression cultural consensus. You know, it's like when people think of the hip hop tradition and history that you carry forward. There's a story, there's a history, or whatever. But we're in the digital age sea of information where it's just, it's like the fucking Bo Burnham clip where he's like, every fucking kid, their brain is developing, and they have the choice to look into infinity or oblivion, you know?
And just something that offers absolutely nothing. And that's why you have to create your own worlds. That's why you have to do it. Because no one's going to do it for you. The world's not going to be a world. The world's not a world. So you have to create your own. You have to create your own culture.
Especially when it's beholden to fucking capital.
That's literally what I was about to say.
It's literally capital.
It's like, as long as there's money to be made off this shit, there's not going to be anything that grows out of it.
No, it has to exist for its own sake. I mean, it has to exist.
I've been saying, like, this whole Marvel MCU shit, that's our mythology. You know, that is literally the equivalent of, and a lot of it is built off of Roman Greek mythology. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if that's the equivalent that we have, and it's tied up in capital, it's tied up in fucking actors' contracts and all this shit.
Yeah, I'm playing Zeus in the new Marvel movie.
Can you imagine if like?
Can I say something on this? Go. You can.
I was just gonna say, can you imagine if like you look back at Roman mythology and you're just like, well, you know that Zeus is about to he's gonna transform into a goose because his contract at this point in history.
They ran out of movies to do with Zeus.
Yeah,
but like, think about what I said about Christmas. And by the way, all the Christmas haters out there, I empathize with you. I don't fuck with organized religion. I just wanted to I love the aesthetics and the music. I joke, I say white people snap when they made Christmas. But
white people snapped when
they made Christmas. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
And boy, we love Christmas. Like it's the one time we get something.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We really get to obsess over something.
Yeah. No notes. No notes, bro. No. But like, what's up with Black Peter though? What's up with that dude?
But
what?
That's some
That's
deep
fucking,
Europe shit. Yeah, that's some.
Oh, is this like that
blackface? Blackface holiday.
Yeah.
Nah, but I'm bringing that up on the point.
I got an answer for that.
Yeah, right.
What's up with Black Peter?
I'm bringing that up on the point of like imagination and where that connects with like institutional legitimacy. You know, because it's like what gives new stories legitimacy? What gives new ideas legitimacy? Like just like Marvel or DC or whatever, these legacy institutions, fuck it, Warner Brothers, you know, name all the big companies and institutions. Like what was it? What is it that makes it like where we can't move on from these things and start anew for something that, we're going to obviously be dealing with capital and money, but where it is in service to the human and the culture and the social and, you know, whatever it might be.
Well, now what you're seeing is the actual culture, like the closest thing to actual culture is like seeing a sped up video of a Breaking Bad clip and there's like a meme text over it. Like we're just taking things that exist now and we're creating worlds with the scraps, like the Ryan Gosling meme, like the
Fallout,
memes. The memes are these worlds. Like Breaking Bad and Family Guy, the context of those two things now are under so many layers of irony.
Bro, have you seen the Garfield online universe? We've talked about it. Have we talked about it on the show?
No, I don't know. Garfield.
I don't think so.
The Garfers?
Yeah, bro. There's a
Can I put a pin, or rather, just finish?
Are you thinking of like the Elden Ring shit? All right, never mind. Go ahead.
You know, I just wanted to reiterate, like, I only say that, like what I just said, to just remind people that this shit is new. Like in the scope of human history, this shit, all these legacy institutions and big companies and that produce the classics and whatever, it's fucking new.
It's still very new.
Right.
And there's no reason why we can't like be bold enough to go, well, let's start something new, but different foundation, different values, and here's the cultural traditions, here's the, you know, whatever it might be, and like thinking really in a holistic way beyond media and art, you know. And I feel like we're literally in the practice with 400 million, like we're in the beginning stages of trying to like lay the foundation for what that could be.
And you know what I think is tied into that too is like this, I at least feel this. Sometimes I feel like our generation's like not smart or talented enough to produce shit that's as fire as the last generations. But you know, that's not true.
It's not true.
Here's what's true. The geniuses are just not available.
Yeah, they're not available.
So that's the problem.
It's like David Graeber's point.
Get them in front. Get them
access.
Get them the resources.
Get them connected even.
I have 2 points and I'll use this to tie it back into the Garfield thing. So to your point about what gives media legitimacy or what gives stories legitimacy, is right now it's fucking capital. And it used to be, I mean, there's still a degree of the same thing, but it's like it used to be just like that it had existed before. And that's still true to a degree. It's like the difference between Christianity and a cult is like thousands of years or a couple thousand years. So And so when you mix capital with that dynamic that already exists, it's like the best we can do is draw from some shit that's like fan fiction. We've talked about how people that make fan fiction are some of the best storytellers that exist right now. People that make that mod video games are some of the best designers.
Dominican GTA.
Yeah, they literally made the Dominican Republic in GTA.
Yeah.
And to the point about the Garfield universe, it sounds like a joke, but it's like there's this entire online universe, and we did talk about it. I showed you that like long like film that where the end of it is just this crazy like sequence. We can link it or whatever.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember this. Yeah,
but like there's this online universe of just like a dark Garfield. They did the same thing with The Simpsons too, but Garfield is so much more specific. It's like John, who's the guy who lives in the house, who's based on the creator, by the way. It's this dark, just like spiral of like he's trapped in this universe that he created himself. And Garfield is this like
Garfield without Garfield, that whole thing.
There's that, and then there's also Gorefield, which is the like horrific like nightmare Garfield who's just like peeking around corners looking for John.
Ring
like
boss.
Yeah, he's like, John, I require lasagna.
Yeah,
and
it was like spider legs.
Yeah, it like my point being that like, and this evolves to the point where there's sort of like ups and downs with John's relationship with Garfield to the point where now, years after the fact, there's this like, I will politely request that you pull this up, but there's a painting called The Forgiveness of John, which is literally a Renaissance painting.
Oh shit!
Like the level of detail is literally like it's a Renaissance painting showing John Arbuckle finally killing Garfield.
Wow!
Like on a, I want to say on a pile of bones, but I don't think that's accurate. But
damn.
Yeah.
Can I speak on that? I think it's directly related in terms of the legitimacy point, because I think about it at least two levels. The material, which you spoke to when you said capital, but also literally just the cultural, the socio-cultural. And I think a part of what we're like on here always yapping about and pleading for people to do is to get the cultural together in a way that's dealing with the material in a different way. So in other words, there are people who are into dope shit and who are making dope things out in this world, but we're not organized, to use an overused and vague word. We're not like connected and moving with each other. Actually, a lot of the folks are just on the hamster wheel trying to ride up the hierarchy, ride up the pyramid, competing with each other. And my question is like, what happens when those people can come together? There is consensus around what's cool, what's dope, and there's media covering that. There's writings covering that. There's a shared cultural, subcultural understanding around that. But then there's infrastructure and organization that deals with capital that can put more people in a place to express themselves, centering the cultural and the social.
Right.
You know, it's like we know that money is like running and shaping and determining everything, but we also know that in the cracks and crevices and even just amongst the people in general, there's like a desire for new shit, a wave of new shit that is hitting at the same caliber as the classics that we love from the 20th century, early 21st century, whatever. But it's new stories, it's a new take, it's whatever. It's just that shit there needs to be an infrastructural means for it to poke through and reach people. But just saying all of this on the legitimacy point, because when you can create, when all of this can come together, can collate, that's when I think we've built another world where there's potentially millions of people who have a shared understanding of cultural legacy and history, and a sense of where they want things to continue moving and going.
It's also really funny to think about, like, you know, I've said something kind of like this before, but every moment where something great really happened or was made was like there was a brief suspension of the expectation of ROI.
Right.
And it's funny how this, like, there's these like innovative, like startup entrepreneur guys always like, you got to take risk. And it's like, so what you're saying is that I have to be creative outside of the expectations of the capitalist logic to make something good. Isn't that convenient? That I actually have to divorce myself from this psychotic logic to make anything good that humans will like.
Can I say something? Like, just in a real historical, profound example of this, Yellow Magic Orchestra.
Yeah.
Yellow Magic Orchestra would not, and for those who don't know, countless genres of music, electronic music, hip hop, coming straight out of the work that this group did and was able to do because Alpha Records, the people that founded that, I think it was a publishing company, but then became a record label, were bold enough to be like, fuck the money.
Right.
Hosono's done some amazing shit.
Right.
We'll just stand behind what these dudes want to do on this project.
These wacky geniuses want to do.
Yeah. And this is like, this is like a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
When you go through the 80s and the 90s in cinema and music and whatever, it's a reoccurring fucking theme. And it's not a fucking coincidence.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a coincidence.
We make fun of Tarantino, but he would be nothing if Harvey Keitel wasn't like, here's a couple million, make Reservoir Dogs, you freak. Like, do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta make a kick-ass.
Yeah, and it's sad when you see those people, they basically get legitimized by the capitalist machines, and they get absorbed, and then they just sort of, it's almost like, well, this is just what it is. There's there's no structural.
They become Kevin Smith crying at the mid-credit scene of Black Panther.
There's like
and
no
posting a picture of
there's
it.
no structural retrospective of like, oh, it was just a certain point in time, and I got this. Or they do say that. They say it's a special point in time, and I got this opportunity, and they're like, well.
But you can shoot a movie on your iPhone now.
You can get lucky too, maybe. You can get literally exactly.
There's YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's
like,
easier
no,
than
there's a fucking
it's actually easier than ever to be discovered now.
Right? Like, no, there's a fucking barrier.
Yeah,
there's a fucking barrier, and like everybody feels it and knows it.
Even worse, you can now be seen and then ignored for a long. You know,
right?
I was I'm thinking about this in terms of music and just like. We've talked about just the concept of music ownership and how you define that and all these, and the ways it puts up all these barriers into just like open sharing of ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying so fucking hard to define ownership in a space that's supposed to be a cultural exchange. You know what I'm saying?
This is directly related to Adam Neely.
I was literally watching that video.
I feel complicated about him because he did a State Department. He did some shit for the State Department.
Haven't we all?
No. No. Yeah, I mean, his videos are so amazing otherwise.
Yeah.
And
but
I don't
really I was watching his video on the way, and I just like.
But
I already had we've already discussed our ideas on it, but like it sort of helped clarify some things, I guess. Really, really more so in the sense of like defining ownership in art is just.
Wait, I don't think we said for people listening.
For those that don't know.
Yeah, we're talking about an Adam Neely video essay that he just dropped. It's like half an hour long, and he's basically talking about the proprietarian like logic that's defined the music industry and copyright law going back centuries.
360 deal?
The 360 deal.
Yeah.
The 1548 deal.
And he ends on the note around the cultural consensus. I don't think he uses that language, but that's basically what he's alluding to, I feel like, in my interpretation.
Yeah. I didn't finish the essay, but I was just like, it was just kind of like musing on the concept and just like really thinking about it in this way of like, you're going to get a lot of repetition and a lot of like ideas being borrowed and moved around. But like, if you have a system that we're talking about where people are just kind of taken care of and you get to play around and you get to do the art in the way that you want to.
It's not a foundation of scarcity.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. And it's like, you don't
That's what he didn't talk about in his video. You know?
And from having only watched 10 to 15 minutes of it, I knew I was going to be frustrated from.
I didn't expect him to bring. But the thing he did, the shit he did bring up at the end though, is like the other part. Like, okay, if we have a post scarcity space, he's talking about, okay, well, how do we get away from this like ownership logic when it comes to sound?
Yeah.
And he's like, there needs to be a social cultural credit system. So if you make something, you have to, and you're sampling or you're doing an interpolation, whatever, there has to be a system that is tracking what artists you're pulling from, what songs you're pulling from.
Yeah.
And so people can see where musically, where what you created has come from.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that a million
And that's what we
percent.
care. I'm a musician. That's what I care about. I don't care about
the
you know,
money part of it.
Sakamoto talks about this kind of stuff too and has for years. He's like, because people would ask, oh, like, do you care that people are like sampling your stuff? And he's like, no, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's fucking sound.
Yeah.
It helps that he's well off.
It's funny
but,
that because there's the money and like I don't know, licensing and all that shit, it makes it harder to credit people. It makes it harder to just give an homage to someone because you're gonna have to pay money for that. Or on the other end, it's like you try to sneak it by or recreate it because of that, or like you warp it. I mean, the amount of samples that can go into a song these days is like absurd.
I mean, bro,
like
that's what I'm
like. Everything is a sample.
Yeah.
It's like the what did Ed Sheeran say about George Harrison? It's like every key on the piano.
I'm scared to touch it. I'm scared to touch the piano because I'm afraid I'll play somebody else's note.
Yeah.
It's a good
no,
quote.
but I mean that's literally it. It's
Yeah.
fucking sound.
Yeah.
It's sound.
Somebody
and
else's
Adam uses the analogy of food. Making a sandwich.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the people that created the sandwich or whatever, it's not like they're fucking getting a cut of, Right.
Yeah, we could talk about how the internet's not even supposed to cost anything.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he talked about what like chord progressions in jazz, which is an insane to break it down to that level, just harmonically, and say like, because people would just like play a different melody over the same chord progression, which happens constantly. And still there's this idea of like, I guess ownership but theft attached to it. I don't really know what
Adam, why'd you have to work for the State Department?
Why'd you have to do that, Adam?
Why do you have to go and work for the State Department?
See the way
I'm gonna try and come up with a second line off top to that.
Weird Al, give him his credits, bro. Give him his flowers.
This is where like the usufruct concept is so fucking important. And, like, I remember when I first like fully internalized what that meant.
Yeah.
Like to get away from ownership as the idea, like I own this thing.
Right.
And it's like grounded in the reality that this is like we are a part of like a broader nature.
Yeah.
And these are like material things, and then some of the things that we're trying to say we own aren't even material. It's like it's literally a part of its sound.
I mean, bro, it's like I mean, you can think about
really wild.
You can think about this in music or in really anything. It's like
I don't.
You can think about this in so many different ways.
Like,
you can think about this in terms of music, or in terms of land, or business, or anything of like, what is the value of owning shit if you don't know how to fucking use it? And in terms of the music discussion, there's never a conversation being had about the performance aspect. There's never a discussion about like, can you play this music? Mm-hmm. Do you have the ability to reproduce this music in a live setting? And like your right to be like, as long as we're talking about compensation financially, like your ability to be paid for that, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, I mean, if we have this like whatever the labor theory of value or whatever the fuck, it's like, it doesn't hold up. But if we have, it's like, I don't know, even the way we try to define like, I've lost track of the way I was trying to say it.
Were you making a point about value?
I guess the point I think the point I'm making is that like Like, I don't know. There are landlords that own land and hire other people to work the land. There are people who don't know how to make music that make money off of music.
Got you.
Yeah, but all of these things. That's built into ownership, though. That's the point. It's implicit. It's inherent, rather, in ownership.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, what's the value of owning when you don't even know how to use it? And the usufruct thing is so revolutionary because it's like, what's the value in owning?
Yes.
It's if you're using it, you're interacting with material matter or a concept or an idea. Like you're doing this dance as a social being with this thing and you're using it, and you should be able to keep using it as long as you get use out of it or whatever.
Yeah.
With ownership, you don't have to be using anything to own it.
Right.
You can then lease it out. You can die and then it's literally just greed.
Made money.
It's literally just made up.
It's greed though. It's
like
no.
You're right.
No. You know, like kids in the sandbox, and he's like, "No, let him play with the toy." No, and we're like, Jason, you haven't played with that toy in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but it's fucking mine.
It's mine. You know, it's like it's literally a system of that.
It's like when I would find something and one of my sisters would be like, "That's mine, actually." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." You weren't
Jason's friend is fucking dying in the corner of the sandbox because he can't get his hands on that
Timmy's
toy.
hoarding the insulin.
Literally
in the sandbox.
Right.
I'm gonna play with it eventually.
Literally.
I'll play with all the insulin eventually.
Literally.
Relax.
Yes.
Yeah, ownership really is just like how much right of violence do you have over an object.
It's power.
It's literally it. It's like
power.
Oh, I have a deed that says I get to fuck you up if you take my house.
Or I can call other people to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And you know what this is making me think of? That dumbass clip with Louis C.K. Can you remember specifically what he said? Because I don't want to butcher it.
No, it's so vague and like
well, he said
in concrete.
He was trying to say that we're all complicit in this system because we all have things that we want defended. We all have material things that we want defended, and if the state isn't there to protect our things, well then,
he basically said like you buy into the system if you have anything that's not just on you, then you are part of this.
Four things.
And it was just vague. It was extremely vague. And so it was just like man, it really just takes you back to the point of just like, imagine if some brilliant ass comedians read some shit. Like literally just fuck it. Just talk to other people that aren't just like, yeah, fucking my Benz, I'm getting it repainted. Drip. You hear about Jay?
Yeah, everybody do that 4 things.
Yeah. Comedians in cars talking to other rich comedians.
Right.
I'm relatable now. Like when they're like, you gotta do your own stuff. You gotta do, or else you'll lose your edge. You gotta do your own laundry.
You gotta keep doing activities your whole life.
You gotta grocery shop or you'll turn into a monster like me.
Hey, you gotta go grocery shopping so you can spend 2 years writing a joke about a Pop-Tart.
No, but think about how like it was vague, but it was like ruling class slick.
He also
like because I just want to clarify because he's basically trying to imply that without the state, and without this what he calls the system, but the system is capitalism. He's basically trying to do this thing of like, well, anything personal, any personal property of yours, conflating personal and private property as concepts, personal being like your toothbrush or your fucking socks, private being like a house that you could rent out or whatever the fuck. He's like conflating all of that and saying, look, if you don't have the state here, it's a bunch of wolves that are gonna fucking come for you and take your shit, and it's just gonna be this never-ending cycle of chaos. We need to have the order of the state there in order to protect it. And it's like the state is there to protect the insulin hoarders. The state is there to protect the people renting out the house when there are people who don't have homes. That's what the state is there for. It's social bonds and community that ultimately provide us safety, would provide us better safety than we get under capitalism, because it's bottom up, it's democratic, it's transparent, it's cooperative, which you do not get under capitalism because it's in service to a small few, a minority of people.
I think you could also call it even if it's not even as deep as that, like just the point he was making.
It is though.
No, I agree, but it's like, I think how it really functions, because to your original point about like how it's like an elitist kind of, or not like elitist, but it's like an upper class kind of move. It's like, it's a convenient dead end of just like, well, and people do this on all parts of the spectrum, even on the far left. There, as long as you can find a dead end, there's no solution, there's no hope, there's no reason to push for change in any system.
Well, what you guys,
then I can stay rich
shut
and it's
down
fine.
the conversation.
I can stay rich and it's fine.
The thing that you guys are not understanding is that I have to fall back in line with the people that pay for Netflix specials. You understand?
Right.
And so I have to hold the party line of the ruling class so that I can get on Netflix. If you,
HBO.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I lost a couple $1 million very recently.
That's the
so
thing.
I gotta get back to where I got daughters to feed.
That's the thing, to your point about whether or not it's that deep. It's like, I don't even necessarily the way I just broke it down. I don't think Louis C.K. is sitting there hyper aware of all these different
I know what you mean.
elements
Absolutely.
and conceptions of the state. I think it's just a casual sort of like subconscious thing. He's just blurting out. It's his class status, his access.
Well, it's inevitably
whatever.
connected to it, because he's implying, he's talking about cops. He's not talking about cops, but he's like, also when you talk about property like that, you're talking about like, it's like that Patrice O'Neill joke about like, you don't like cops until you have shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know
I just wanted, I literally, I know y'all understand what I said, but I wanted to say it more for people who are listening and like maybe just like aren't aware of the layers to, as you put it, like his vagueness. Like his vagueness is, like you said, it's convenient.
Obfuscation.
You know, right. It's exactly. It's just clouding up what's really going on and making it seem like, oh, well, this is just how it is. Back to the imagination point.
Yeah.
It's like the nation state isn't even like is a relatively new thing in the scope of human history.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe we should, I know I've said it before, maybe we should backtrack a little bit and like try and conceive of a different way. Maybe we have to.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to in order to like stay on this planet.
And to clarify things a bit more, you touched on this and you touched on this, but like the concept of property in general. To have property, you have to have violence. Because how do you enforce property? How do you really effectively say this is mine and it's not yours? Because property inherently implies that other people cannot use it and you have the right to use it or destroy it as you wish. And so how do you enforce that? How do you enforce that if you're not big and strong, or if you don't have a gun or something?
Right.
A gun is fine.
Especially when it's like backed by legal shit like contracts and stuff. And
I also think commodity, like the idea of a commodity is central to this thing too.
Yeah.
Because how we conceive of property and relate to it. Like this computer is like you said, a thing to be like, I can do whatever I want, destroy it or whatever. Most people aren't conceiving of it as like this thing just like in motion for literally temporary use, because all of this is temporary,
right?
To get towards some type of social end or some type of material end for my survival or whatever. Right. And as long as we're existing on this the scarcity, informed backdrop of capitalist production, distribution, commodity production, this is just the way that it's gonna fucking be. But if we can start like producing around what our collective needs are and so on and so forth, and that literally changes how we even relate to the tools that we're using, the materials, the homes that we're living in, so on and so forth.
What he's trying to say is the phone used to be the phone. Now it's my phone.
And you
what
do
do you
this.
Mean?
Right.
You do this? You put my email address in the phone?
Right.
It's the phone.
Right.
It's that language, my phone.
You're joking, but that language distinction is so key, man.
Yeah.
Like, even mine and this
really,
type of...
It really is all scarcity. And it's like, you'd think people after thousands of years would be like, yo, it's the scarcity. If we just get past that.
Yeah.
But we can socially get along.
Yeah.
then what the fuck? Like people gotta get that eventually.
Yeah.
We even do this though down to the level of like the human, like saying my boyfriend or my girlfriend,
Right?
You know, my partner.
Yeah.
I know some people are gonna hear me say this and go, "Oh, brother, look at this pedantic piece of shit."
But that's real.
Really? And it's like, well, no, look at the etymology of these words.
Right,
and it's like, it's not like I don't say, yes, I fucking
here's
talk
a trip.
like that.
Other languages sometimes in the past
Don't
didn't even include
They did not
possessive
have
words.
possessive language like this.
So,
it would be like the child.
Yeah.
Two humans would come together and a child would come out of that relationship and they would say, the child. This child belongs to a broader nature.
Right.
I am here to nurture this child. I
It
don't
even-
own.
It feels healing just to hear that phrase, calling
Yeah.
it that. It literally
Right.
feels good to hear that.
Ursula Le Guin in The Dispossessed does that, where she'll refer to like the mother or the son or the parents or whatever. It's not like this possessive thing. She's very
Facts.
specific in her language like that.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, and like, this is the lighter I'm using. Like, it would just
Right.
be the one you're using. It's not
Right.
the one you have.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And sure, maybe you have some type of special connection or bond to to a material thing or, whatever. I'm sure that it gets there's more to the philosophy of like ownership and property and like how we relate to different things. But yeah, just like that baseline thing is tied to usufruct, like the concept of usufruct, and like, it's like a concept and a way of thinking and living meant for outside of this exploitative logic, this logic of domination that we're currently suffering under. That's why it's so hard for some people to like really think about it at that level. And I understand it. Like, I get it. Like, if me years ago heard me talking like this now, I'd probably be rolling my eyes. It'd be like,
right.
All right. Like,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right. But if you have an open mind about it and think about it for a second, I think it fucking clicks,
Well,
Like-
and what you're trying to ultimately achieve with it, which is that people feel like they are a whole person, not your possession.
Yeah.
They're
Freedom.
a whole person that matters because they're a whole digit in this code of universal life that we all exist in. They're at least an individual that exists.
To that point, yet again, I think I've said this on the show already, but the word family, the root of that word means servants. It means household full of servants. It's just like
cringe, bro.
Cringe.
Cringe level 1 million.
Fucking
on that.
sick.
We need to go from family to community.
We need to go from fam to com. Is that what Nintendo was trying to do? With the Nintendo Famicom? We don't know.
It was a transition.
Yeah. They're like, let's take a Famicom. And everyone's like, stop. Super Nintendo. Let's call it that.
Then Sega came in with the Genesis, and it's been all Bible since then.
It's been all
Bible.
I can't remember his name. Genesis.
It's been Phil Collins.
It's been Phil Collins ever since.
We've been feeling it, calling in the air in the air tonight ever since.
Opencollective.com/Jaded Forum.
The Brother Bear
Unless
soundtrack.
you're good. Unless you're good.
No,
Unless
we're
you're
wrapping
good.
it up.
Yeah. Because I could keep going, but I peep the time.
From New York City. A telegram.
It's the thing from another world.
Jaded Forum. Stop.
It may horrify you even.
Jaded Forum. Stop. Open Collective. Stop. A telegram from Philadelphia.
Dog, there are literally Rankin Bass animations that fucking start this way. Santa Claus is traveling
my
the globe.
calling, bro. I could have just been
Operator.
the operator. On
Hold,
the telegram.
please.
Just,
Right.
Operator, hold please.
Right.
Operator, hold
oh no,
please.
I'm thinking of probably just being a guy like radioing
Yeah.
telegrams.
Opencollective.com/Jaded Forum. Please support. Please donate if you're appreciating what we're doing. And want to help us start acting more on the things that we're talking about, because that's all we're really trying to do.
We're
trying
talking
to act
about
more. We're trying to practice more.
We're trying to act more.
On the practice
talk about.
Yeah.
It's like crazy for real, like this Usufruct shit, whatever. Like it's just like crazy for real. Like
See you next week.
We love you.
You guys aren't picking that up. Hold on, I'll get you.
fucking boomer. A fucking boomer ringtone.
Oh, God damn it, Phyllis.
It's time to take my vitamins.
She's always fucking calling me when I'm recording. God damn it, Phyllis.
Phyllis, I got a show every
I got
Monday.
a fucking show. You knew it. You checked the time window. God damn it.
It's not on TV. It's on the internet.
I made you lasagna.
I hate that shit. It's like sheet cake fucking pasta. It's disgusting. Why don't you make me toasted ravioli? That's probably easier. Oh wait,
I wish
not
Buck was
toasted.
here.
Yeah, right. Why don't you just make me a meatloaf? Call it a day.
Why don't you
Throw some
make me a
ketchup on it.
meatloaf with a hard crust on the outside?
Come on.
I used to hate
Come on.
when I would have meatloaf made for my dinner as a child. I used to hate
Oh
that
my
shit.
God.
Like, you want me to eat this brick of shit?
My dad would put fucking onions in it too.
Oh my God.
That's kind of fire, actually.
No.
All right, Connor.
Okay.
You gotta
That's
clap
like-
us out on that
that's like
one.
you.
Always gotta clap out.
Bro.
Yeah.
A one. Oh wait.
I love to sing.
He tried to do that remix.
And a 2 and a 3. No, it's not gonna work.
I love to sing about the
that's
moon
it.
and the June and the spring. I like to sing.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a